Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rishisha. I'm from CSE MLD section. Today, we are going to explain about the topic Huffman code in our subject design analysis algorithm. Now, we are going to see about the introduction to the Huffman code. What's the Huffman coding? Huffman coding is a widely used method for the data comprehension, and it was developed by the David A. Huffman in 1952 while he was a PhD student. This technique is particularly effective for the comprehensive textual data. Here, the introduction to the Huffman code, and it is a widely used method for the data comprehension, and it is developed by the David A. Huffman, and in 1952 when he was PhD student. How Huffman coding works. Huffman coding creates a variable length codes based on the frequency of characters. More frequent characters are assigned shorter codes, while less frequent ones receive longer codes. Here, the more frequent characters has had some shorter codes, and the less has longer codes. This goal is to minimize the overall size of encoded data. The Huffman code is used to minimize the data, and when we have more frequent, we have the shorter codes. When we have the less frequent, we have the longer codes. Here we can say that we can see that the example, we have one number variable 238 and the other 95 and 143. We are encoding the data by designing the graph. The process of Huffman code. Now, what's the process we used in Huffman code? The process begins with the calculating the frequency of each character in the data. Now we have to see the frequency in the data. Now, what's frequency have in some data? When we, for example, when we use one number 133, we have to see, firstly we have to see the date frequency. If the frequency is less, we have to use more data, and frequency is high, we have to use less data. For example, we can see that here there are some data, and based on the frequency we use the Huffman coding. It's known as the Huffman coding, and the binary tree is then constructed based on these frequency. It's looking like a binary tree, and but we based on using the frequency by constructing the tree. These trees are used to generate the unique binary codes for each character. Building the Huffman tree. How to build the Huffman tree? The Huffman tree is built using priority queue to manage nodes by frequency. Now we are use how we build a Huffman tree. We using some frequency based on the frequency, and priority of queue. Priority of queue means what the variable we are adding in the tree, and we managing the nodes by frequency. Nodes with the lowest frequency combine until only one tree remains. The resulting tree reflects the optimal structure for this encoding the data. Now we can see that the example in A block, we have the 17, the frequency is 17, and D 11, the frequency is decreasing from A to D. Here C has some data, C 6, and B has 3. Frequency is decreasing when we plotting the queues. Now discuss about the encoding with the Huffman codes. Each character is replaced by its corresponding binary codes from the Huffman tree. They are saying about the we use some corresponding order, descending order. The data will increase from top to bottom. We can see that in previously A block, A tree has 17 and D has 11, C has 6, B has 3. The value is decreasing simultaneously. The frequency also decreasing. This results in a compressed output that can be stored or transmitted efficiently. The encoding process is straightforward and computational efficient. It is also as a straightforward thing like decreasing the data, like simultaneously decreasing frequency, and it is straightforward like decreasing when one value is decreasing and other value is decreasing, when one value is increasing other value is decreasing. It happens in the simultaneously. Now, how to decode Huffman codes and decoding Huffman codes. Decoding involves traversing the Huffman tree from the reboot to the leaves. Each bit in the encoded data directs the traversals. Each bit in the encoded data directs the traversal until a character is reached. The process continuously until the entire encode message is decoded. Here, how to decode. Decode involves traversing the Huffman tree root to the leaves. From the top, it is a root, and the attacher and one is the leaves, and each bit encoded data. Now, the advantages of Huffman coding. Huffman coding is optimal for a fixed set of symbols with known frequency. Here the main advantages, it is fixed set of symbols with some known frequency. When we know about the frequency, we can easily construct a tree. When we don't know about the frequency, we confuse about the building of the Huffman tree. It often results in the significant data size reduction compared to fixed length encoding. The algorithm is efficient and easy to implement in various programming and language. Here they give some data and the frequency. Here the data is character C O T F A U E. Here the frequency is 4, 11, 3, 7, 2, 6, 10. Now we construct the Huffman tree from O to A, from increasing frequency to decreasing frequency. Limitations of Huffman coding. Now, what's the limitation? Huffman coding is less effective for the small datasets with uniform frequency. We all know that the small datasets have the less effective. When we have this large datasets, we have some high effectives. The method requires prior knowledge of the frequency distribution of symbols. It may not be as efficiency for the adapting coding, which adjusts frequency dynamically. Now, the applications of Huffman coding. Huffman coding is commonly used in the files compression formats like zip and gzip. Here we insert our code in the zip file and the gzip file. It plays a crucial role in image formats such as ZPG and PNG for the lossless comprehension. ZPG and PNG is participated in the image formatting. The method is also utilizing various multimedia codes for the efficient state. Now we have to discuss about the difference in the Huffman coding and then versus other compression techniques. Compared to run length encoding, Huffman coding often achieves better compression ratios. Unlike Lepel, Welch, and we don't, I'm confused about it. Huffman coding is simpler but may not adapt dynamically. Each technique has its strength and weakness, making them sustainable. Implementing Huffman coding. How we implement? Implementing Huffman coding algorithms involves creating a frequency table. Follows the tree building process, encoding and decoding functions can be developed. Many programming libraries provides built-in functions for the Huffman coding. Future of Huffman coding. Huffman coding remains irrelevant In the era of data and multimedia, continued research into adaptive techniques and hybrid approach enhance its utility. Thank you.